Hey everyone, welcome back to Hero Wars Guide. I'm going to talk about the Blackbeard's Legacy event that is running right now on Hero Wars Web and Facebook. I want to start out by taking a look at the task list, which you can see here. The important ones to talk about are buy and spend emeralds, the energy in the tower chests. All the others I think are just going to happen automatically by playing. The buy emeralds I'll talk in a little bit more detail later. Spend emeralds is very strong in this event with a return of 54% for maxing it out, and we'll look at the milestones along the way a little bit later. Spend energy and tower chests. You get some very high returns there for some small spends. If you're able to get an extra day out of the event, then those ought to come for free, but otherwise, if you don't, I think this is a good occasion to go ahead and spend those handful of emeralds to complete those tasks anyway, because you get a really nice payout for the final milestone in each of those tasks for a very modest spend. For just a couple of the spend energy at 50 each day, you'll complete that one out. This is saying it's going to cost 450 emeralds, but assuming you got the 500 for free from the community page, that'll be even less. So well worth it to finish that. And tower chests I normally wouldn't recommend doing, but you get a pretty nice payout there for just opening 10 of them, unless you got the extra day, and then that one will be free as well. The way I like to approach it is to only look at opening the 50 emerald chests, and only if it pops up gold initially, so that way I'm getting a 50-50 shot at either at least the tower coins, but hopefully an item fragment that I'm looking for. Alright, then taking a look at the most important task in this event against some of the other recurring and pretty good. This is up against some of the best events in the game. You can see Blackbeard's Legacy on the far right here with the best ROI out of any event that is a regular recurring event anyway. So really nice percentage there, and then when you consider that some of those emeralds might be spent on discounted activity, I think this is a really strong event. There's a buy emerald task that kicks back some extra emeralds to you, up to 90,000 purchased, and if you happen to get the bundles that add up just to 90k, that can bring a ×3 emerald purchase to be the value of a ×4. But you have to hit just the right number, so it's not very likely to pay off. I'm not going to do this myself, at least not through buying emeralds, unless there's a ×4 sale, which may be coming this weekend. In any case, if you're going to spend money on this event, I'd say wait until Thursday night here in the States, or Friday, and see if there is a ×4 emerald sale, because that's when you'll want to do it. Alright, I want to take a second to talk about the value of each pirate key, as that's the main prize from most of the tasks. And when I'm talking about ROI and emerald value, it's all based on how valuable these keys are. And the average value, if you just look at the potential prizes that comes out of this thing, it's 254. But the value for you might be lower if you've already maxed out a bunch of different resource types. Maybe you're not interested in things like Titan Souls and artifact seals and all of that. In which case, the value is going to be a little bit lower than what I'm saying here. But on the other hand, if you happen to hit the chaos particles right away on your Buccaneer stash refresh, then that's a value of 1750 from just one pull. So you refresh, and that particular draw was extremely valuable. So that could bring things up a little bit there. My personal realized value, factoring in irrelevant resources and timing of the refresh, I tend to fall somewhere between 260 and 300 on these events. So that's part of why I think this is so strong. If you are a relatively new player, I did build a tool. If you're maybe a newer player and you're interested in the majority of the prizes and not specifically interested in only the chaos particles, I did build a tool that might help you decide when to refresh. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this here because I've already done videos on this topic, and I'll link to that, so it should be appearing on your screen now if you do want to see a little bit more detail here. But this would allow you to keep track of what you've received so far and whether or not it makes sense to refresh. And if you're maybe someone who's farther along, you could make a copy of this and adjust some of the emerald values that I've supplied here down for the items that you don't care about. You could change them to 0 or maybe half of what I've marked or whatever. But again, I've already covered this in some other videos, so I'm not going to dwell on it here. You can see the link to the tool we just looked at here. I'll put it in the notes for the video as well. All right, so taking a little more granular look at the milestones in the Spend Emeralds task, you can see here in the requirement column, that's what you've got to spend to hit each reward tier, and then the value of the keys that you get out of each milestone listed there. So you can see up to 5,000 emeralds spent, you're getting a very good return on your investment there at over 100%, which is very rare to have 100% at that high of a spend in any event, up to 5,000. And it stays pretty strong throughout the entire thing. So again, if you need Titan artifacts or maybe heroic artifacts, some of the more likely good ways to spend emeralds during this event, those are also on a discount, so that's giving you extra percentage points there. I think this is one of the best opportunities in the game to do a little spending. All right, wanted to take a quick second to talk about the bundle. Normally these are just a hard pass for me, and I don't know that I'll be buying this myself here, but if you are someone who likes to buy event bundles, this is probably the best one that ever comes up. You can see here it says CyberCon, but the contents are exactly the same, so everything applies to this situation here. So what I've listed here is the dollar cost for each one of these bundles. How many emeralds would you get for that same dollar figure out of a 4x sale, and then looking at the value that you get from purchasing the bundle against the 4 times emerald sale, which is the gold standard for if you're going to spend on this game. That's where you should be doing it. And this is an extremely rare case here where the value that you get out of this and what your guild gets out of it, if you add all those things together, it's about even here with the 4x sale, which is kind of unheard of. Almost every other event is somewhere between 40 and 75% at best. So this one is worth some consideration, especially if you are a lower VIP player. When I'm saying how many emeralds you get for cost at 4x, my amount listed here is 1,200 emeralds per dollar, which is like VIP 14 in some of the larger bundles thereabouts. So if you're VIP 15, this percent of 4x would be a little bit lower, but if you're anywhere under 14, then it might be more than 100%, and if you're very low VIP, it might be well greater than 100%. And you may get a little bit of extra kickback out of that buy emeralds task from picking up the bundles as well, because something like a third of the dollar value on each bundle does come to you in the form of emeralds. So you'll get a little bit of kickback there, which is not counted in this view. So they're worth a little bit more consideration than usual. Again, for myself, I'm going to stick to emeralds, but that may not be the best approach for everyone. All right, that's all I had for today. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.